All right, folks. Every Wednesday around this time, the Best Ball Leaderboard show has returned. Today, we have a guest. It's going to be a rotating guest. First guest of the year is Mr. Nez Takes. I don't know if that's Mr. Nez. I don't even know your official first name, but welcome, Nez.
I
Maybe
try to
it's
stay low
Nez. Maybe
key.
it's Nez. I don't even know. How you doing?
I'm doing well, man. I'm doing well. It's been a pretty nice start to the NFL season for me. Definitely can't complain about early DFS results, early best ball results. Feeling pretty dialed in at the moment. We'll see if I can keep the ball rolling in week 3. But yeah, it's been a pretty good season. How about you, man? How you feeling
You,
so far?
you seeing the numbers align? You're seeing the matrix?
I kind of feel like I've got a pretty good finger on the pulse right now, which I I don't know at what point things got off the rails for me, but last NFL season I was definitely playing catch up with a lot of trends that it was definitely kind of hard for me to figure out where the puck was going. I feel pretty ahead of the curve right now, which is nice.
Yeah, pretty fun start for me, like some guys I've been pretty into have been doing well. Some guys I've
Mhm.
not been into are doing well too and still surviving despite of that. Like don't have a ton of Javante, don't have a ton of Quentin Johnston. These guys are obviously top scorers on the year.
Mhm.
It's week 2, folks, so just want to, as a veteran in best ball, folks, if you are advancing 5% of your teams right now, breathe. There's a lot of time
Mhm.
to change. Unfortunately, injuries are part of this game. Everyone who's awesome, literally, they all could be hurt next week for all we know, right? This is a extremely chaotic game. Every rookie who is a 0, they could be Devon Achane next week, right? Like literally, Achane was inactive week 1. Things change quick in the NFL. So Jaden Blue, obviously Tootin, I think people are not panicking about anymore. The rookie running backs, Gene T, Hampton, we're going to talk
Oh
about those
yeah,
guys. Yeah, I mean, look, some people like to panic, Brian. You're free to do that as well. I'm
they
not
do.
here to quench any flames, but let's jump right into it. And I thought we would start with running through the top scores. I pulled the top scores in half point PPR for quarterback, running back, wide receiver, tight end. Just think we would start here and give our takes of what's real, what's not. I didn't list points. It's early. Generally, this list I think I'll do week by week, but since it's early, we're doing the combo. Lamar, Daniel Jones, Josh Allen, Mahomes, Herbert, Goff, Mayfield, Wilson, Caleb Williams, Drake May, Jaden Daniels, Rodgers. Noticeably absent are guys like Hurts, guys like Jordan Love, who looks awesome. Throw it over to you, Nez. What are you feeling about the quarterbacks? What's real? Who are you surprised about? Who do you want more? Who do you want less of?
Yeah, I think a lot of this list at the moment is, yeah, and everything we're gonna look at is pretty small sample, but the ones that I am believing in terms of having some season long success. Let's just start with Daniel Jones. I think Daniel Jones is in a really awesome situation. It's something that I talked about with John all summer. Was man, I don't really think Daniel Jones is good, but this is objectively the best offense he's ever been a part of. And that could lead to some interesting results that maybe are not really being projected for. And it's early, but we're seeing it now. But I'm a believer in what we've seen just because Daniel Jones doesn't have to do a whole lot. He has Jonathan Taylor. He has Tyler Warren. He has Michael Pittman who can get open, Josh Downs who can get open, Alec Pierce if he feels like throwing a deep ball. He has really strong weapons around him. I personally am a believer in the Colts offense. Maybe Daniel Jones isn't going to be, a top 5 QB every week. I think that's fair to question, but I have real belief in the Colts being a strong offense.
Yeah, I mean, Daniel Jones, I was personally a little scared off for things like BBM and the DK Millie as far as going all in on Daniel Jones or Richardson with generally I just don't want to be gambling on quarterback. I did do some 3 QB teams where I went either Drake May, Daniel Jones and Richardson or whatever. I did end up getting a lot of Daniel Jones in the eliminator for I mean not a lot, but
Mm.
I had 50 slows going on. And at that point it was he's here in the 18th round. I need a
Mm-hmm.
third quarterback. Sure, why not? You've been good in fantasy in the past. And yeah, I agree. I mean, Josh Downs, Michael Pittman, Tyler Warren, all these guys are great facilitators. What is not real to me is like, I kind of feel Steichen is trying to force these 1-yard touchdowns for Daniel Jones just to further cement that, like, I was right. It should have been Jones. It shouldn't have been Richardson. Look at him. He's scoring touchdowns, right? This is Josh Allen. Like, he's not going to get 1-yard touchdowns every week, nor do I think he should in like close games. Like, maybe, dude, maybe you just give that to Jonathan Taylor, like the freight train.
Right.
So I don't know if that part is real. For me, someone who feels super real is Herbert. Like, not only are the Chargers like number one in pass rate over expectation, he hurt his foot. Like last offseason, he had the hurt foot, right? So he was like very cheap in drafts. He didn't run. And then, with them dropping back so much, he's naturally going to scramble more. And he's like Josh Allen, just not as heavy. He's like a taller Josh Allen. So he's not going to like lay the wood as much, but he's athletically fast, right? He doesn't have quite the same 10-yard split. So not quite the same burst, but like, I think we're getting 20, 30, 40 rushing yards. Like, this is like a good thing for Bryce Young, but Bryce Young is Bryce Young and Justin Herbert is Justin Herbert, right? So Herbert feels really awesome to me. Anyone else, like, okay, not real to me. Russell Wilson, like, this dude's getting benched.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. That was an unbelievable game. That was so awesome to watch. But yeah, no, he's absolutely losing. He's losing his job. He's losing his job soon. Jackson Dart is coming, but great.
Did you want to weigh in on the what was the, like, literally there was a stretch there where it went Russell Dart snaps, and my take on it is they were all short yardage and they wanted Dart to like run for the first down, and he slipped both times or something. It was like, okay, great start here, but any take from you on that?
I just feel like that's a Dayball trying to get like cute and creative of like getting Dart reps in real time, so that way he's prepared when it's actually go time. It's kind of interesting. I don't hate it, but I feel like it's not great for continuity for an offense. But yeah, I don't know, man. At this point, I feel like just play Dart. No, love the Herbert shout. Like, I really wish I had more Herbert. Didn't expect this pass rate over expectation. Didn't expect this rushing upside, but he's had an ankle and a foot like almost every year that we've been playing best ball. So this is, a hell of an offense he's got around him. Have a lot of Keenan. Wish I had more Herbert. I think just talking about Mahomes real quick, because we're not used to seeing Mahomes be a good fantasy quarterback. It's early, and he's going to rush way more now than he will when he has a full cast around him. I think he'll still run, but I don't think he's going to run this much. But pretty interesting stuff here. If the Chiefs continue to trail in games, we could get a pretty fun Mahomes season, which I wouldn't love because I don't have a ton of Patrick Mahomes. But yeah, do you think that we're going to continue to see good fantasy outputs from Mahomes once like the whole gang gets back?
I think we need to see some more info, because like it should. What we know about Mahomes is he is able to run, and he's actually good at it, right? Like, this is, as a Bills fan, he's like beaten us like hundreds of times doing this, like hard to sack. But he usually doesn't do in the regular season because they don't risk the hit. So was this a factor of them playing the Eagles and the Chargers, a division opponent who's like maybe as good as the Chiefs, maybe better? Or was this just effect of like, look, they're trying to win games. They're rough right now. What's also encouraging is like, I mean, he's not connecting on them, but he's taking like 50 deep shots to like Tyquan Thornton and co. So once like Worthy and Rice get out there, I don't have a ton of Mahomes either. I didn't really love the Broncos game, kind of nitpicking there, but no, I think it's live. It's like, I want to see what happened to the Giants game. Like, is that a game where maybe you try to get Pacheco, Hunt, something going there, or like, what's real with this? Or is it just like, no, dude, like, we're 0-2. Like, until we are a playoff team, we need to go for it,
Yeah. I think I agree with you there. With the rest of the QBs, just to kind of give like it's kind of hard to like overreact, underreact at this point, because QBs are on the field all the time. So like I think it's easier to like.
It's like QB 12 and QB 20 is like a point or two or whatever.
Yeah. These other guys like at the skill positions are really where like you can start to like panic or overreact. Well,
let's move on then. Let's move to the running backs. So top 12 running backs right now. I mean, a list that if you just could be shown this list a couple months ago, people will be breaking their brains for many different players. James Cook, Javonte Williams, Jonathan Taylor, Bijan Robinson, CMC, Achane, Travis Etienne, Saquon Barkley, Chuba Hubbard, Derrick Henry, J.K. Dobbins, and Jalen Warren as your RB12.
Love to see the Jalen Warren appearance on here. Just simply love to see it. And he's trending up as well. So that's really fun. What a list, man. What a list. I mean, yeah, sweating this Javonte run out so far.
Were you into Javonte or no?
No.
No, I wasn't. And like, this is a point where I'll give a lesson because there was, I mean, first off, I'm like, he got a touchdown late in the game that he did break it and it looked good, but it was like, okay, the Giants are terrible against the run. They have been forever. There was a point though in the offseason where I was like, you know what? Like, there's really not that much different between Javonte and Rico Dowdle, if I'm being fair, but like, nah, fam. So I didn't fully stubborn it and 0% him. I just took him when he fell like 20 spots past ADP, which he would, right? So I did get some Javonte at pick 150. I do think he's live to like Jamal Williams it as far as like scoring 20 touchdowns. I do not think Jaden Blue will be a 0 all year, nor do I think the mostly pass happy Cowboys are going to be, you know, getting tackled at the 1 every game. But, you know, certainly a great pick so far. And I think you're happy. Like, even if he's a 0 by week 10, if you have a lot of him, like whatever, injury, whatever, just, you know, slows down because he's looked kind of brutal in the past. I think you're happy if he advances a bunch of teams. ETN is another one where it's like, I think Tootin's coming, man. Tootin, like that one seems more clear to me. Like Tootin looks good. I do think this is one by like week. Like, who would you rather have, ETN or Tootin? I still think I'd rather have Tootin. Maybe that's going to look silly, but
yeah,
that's where I am. James Cook, the Bills just have an elite O-line, man, and he's fast. Like, he's not too dissimilar to like Achane and Gibbs.
right.
And it's like Joe Brady's shown us who he is, you know? So I think all the Bills pass catchers, it's kind of going to be like, it's Keon one week, it's this guy another week, it's just the Josh Allen show. Really encouraging that Josh Allen did not do the QB sneak at the 1 yard line. I've been on camp that they're going to kind of try to save him. And Ray Davis continues to look meh when he gets opportunity. So Cook looks awesome. Yeah. Who else you like in here?
Just going down this list here, I have a lot of Jonathan Taylor. I'm pretty excited about those bags.
He's like a top 5 pick if we were drafting again today. Is he not?
Yes. Yeah. Like I think you see a ton of running backs go early in BBM if we were to, if we do the
Daniel Jones dump offs to him is something he's never had. Like never. 3 catches for Jonathan Taylor and the ability to run 80 yards is like, this is a younger Saquon, kind of, you know?
Huge. Yeah. The other piece here, so I think it's encouraging Chuba Hubbard is on this list because of how poorly the season has started for Carolina. I don't know that it necessarily gets better, but I do think that this is about as poor of a start as you could have asked for. And the fact that Chuba is not like sharing work, even with like the passing stuff, I think is encouraging. If you have a lot of Chuba, I'm like average on Chuba, but the fact that they've been so bad and he still cracks this list is pretty interesting. The one that I had some regret on is Bijan. I kind of faded Bijan because I was so into Saquon over him. I was, I had Bijan pretty low in my ranks, relatively speaking.
I did too. I thought you were Bijan bro though for some reason.
I was last year.
Okay.
Pick 5, like pick 5, like absolutely. But to think that he's going to score enough touchdowns to be the number 2 overall fantasy player, I had some reservations on. Like I just thought Saquon was in as nutted a situation as he was in last year. Why would I take Bijan over Saquon when I think Saquon can score like 8 more touchdowns than Bijan? So yeah, but like seeing him in prime time just look unbelievably sick. It hurts to not have a ton.
Yeah, I'll say a couple things there. Like, I feel like a lot of these guys are kind of fragile right now. Chuba on him, like he scored 2 garbage time passing touchdowns. That doesn't feel sustainable. And I didn't hate Chuba. Like I kind of liked him on like drafters, the eliminator. But to your point, like, yeah, man, Rico seems like a zero, and Trevor Etienne is not playing at all right now. I also do not have a lot of Bijan. Was more on the Gibbs train, was more on the CeeDee Lamb train. And on the Bijan camp, it's like, I mean, Tyler Algier got 16 carries. So Bijan looks straight up incredible, though. Like when you watch him and you're like, oh, this guy is electric with the ball. But does seem like he's not going to get all the work. So I'm not too upset about it, right? Because Gibbs looks pretty good too. 10 targets a game. There's not a lot of guys getting that. Achane, the real, like, I have a lot of Achane. I was into Achane. The real question is, like, how long can we keep this up? Like, is Tua getting benched? Is everyone getting fired after getting destroyed by the Bills on Thursday? What's the vibes on Dolphins?
It's not good. It's not good. I don't have a lot of Achane on Underdog. I was kind of off that. I took like Derrick Henry over him most times. I forget who I was taking over him, but I was fading him.
That was like the wide receivers. There was London. There was Bowers. Like I was big Achane. I think I ran bad that he got hurt later in the year because I was like, oh, I have all these unique Achane combos with like Achane Gibbs, and then Achane gets hurt, so there goes that uniqueness, you know?
Yeah, that does suck, right? When you're like, you're hammering a guy who was a good play, and then they get cheaper, and they really shouldn't have. But yeah, I really worry about the Dolphins, man. I just don't know. Like it's not a must win against the Bills, but they can't get smoked. But they're gonna get smoked.
I mean, yeah, it's like you would hope they want to get fired for losing to the Bills, but I don't know, man. CMC, the obvious question is like, just can he keep this up? Looks awesome right now, but yeah, can you keep it up? And then J.K. Dobbins, kind of think he's just gotten some touchdowns. I do think Harvey's going to come there eventually. Henry,
I think so too.
Kind of incredible. He's on this list after scoring 2 points last week. Does Henry hold up? He's kind of a similar one. I was not a Henry drafter.
I know. I was kind of surprised by that. Yeah.
I just thought that the bet was meaningfully different that like Henry in the 3-4, okay, we were wrong. But
who were we?
To take him over the 3-4 turn last year, like to not take him there. But to take him, like some people started taking him in the first round over the elite wide receivers, like Malik Neighbors, Amon-Ra, Nico. Like to me, those guys' floor ceiling combos are just like so safe. And like, okay, Brian Thomas Jr., he's not doing great through 2 weeks. I'm not too worried, right? Like Nico, he should have had another touchdown. He's not awesome, but like I think Amon-Ra, Neighbors, Puka showcased it. Like I was team Puka strongly. So I don't know. The real question with Henry is like, can he keep it up? He's not playing all the snaps. Obviously, he's a workout demon, but like father time comes for us all. It just does.
Yeah, I'm just I'm gonna take Team Henry on that one, and he's a guy that plays better as the months get colder as well. The Ravens look incredible, so I feel pretty glad about my Henry bags. It felt bad to take him. Well, not bad, but just like it felt not fun to take him over Genty all summer. But that's what I did, and so far so good.
Yeah, so maybe that, like, yeah, I was taking Genty, so maybe Genty, whatever. Maybe that one.
Yeah, I don't even
stays a zero. Jaylen Warren, I have a lot of Jaylen Warren too, just because I thought Caleb Johnson was like, he's not a Rodgers guy, man. Like Rodgers is not going to roll with this rookie. He wasn't that athletically special. I had a lot of Caleb Johnson in the big board. I don't think Caleb Johnson is a zero forever, but I don't know. You're the Steelers fan. What's your take?
Yeah, no, dude, Warren is awesome. Warren is really good at football.
He's Gen Z Eckler, man. He just is.
Yeah, they just don't want to get him a ton of touches, which, like, I agree. He's probably not somebody that can handle a huge workload, so they would love to eventually get Caleb Johnson going. But I just think Jaylen Warren is good, and I think everybody kind of overthought. One thing, let me just, like, soapbox here. I have a big gripe with, like, people saying things like, oh, Warren couldn't, like, get on the field over Najee. So, like, how is he going to get over the field over a second-round rookie? Like, Are we like hearing ourselves? Najee has ran for 1,000 yards every time every season. Like, do you think coaches like are gonna like get him off the field? No, like he's durable and he stays on the field. You remove him from the equation, and now you have this really fun player in Jaylen Warren, who, mind you, was hurt a lot last year.
So yeah, he was just hurt.
Like he had the hamstring, and then I think he had a knee as well. Like after that, so like the bet was meaningfully different. He's my highest drafted player, 33%. I'm stoked on Jaylen Warren. I just really thought that the analysis and the way people were talking about my guy Jaylen Warren, I didn't take too kindly to.
Yeah, I mean, we know this, that people are very binary. It's like, oh, Cook, he will regress. I've heard that on a podcast, right? And it's like, maybe he won't, right? Warren, like, to me, another data point I like to look at this sometimes is like his best fantasy season was like 180 points, which is pretty good. And I don't think he's played his best season, right?
Yeah.
I was actually not too into him last year because I was more into the Bengals guys. But this year I was jamming him. Like, I don't know, I'm probably like 20% on underdog and probably like way more on DK, where I was doing a lot of drafts at once and can't really like diversify.
Yeah.
And it was also just like thinking through like Rodgers, man. Like I remember those Aaron Rodgers, Jamal Williams years where he was like throwing touchdowns. It's like, that is Warren, and like Warren is awesome at picking up the blitz. So you wish he gets thrown to more, and now Rodgers is saying it. So we'll see there. Let's take a point here on the running backs before we go to wide receivers.
Sure.
Let's get the rookie running backs out of the way. Hampton, Jeanty, Harvey, Henderson, Ja'Cory Krosky, Merritt. Help me out. Like pretty much they're all bad. Tootin. Most are bad other than the cheap ones where like you're encouraged that Woody Marks is on the field already. You're encouraged that Tootin is on the field already. I still think Jaden Blue can work out. But people are straight up panicking about Hampton and Gene T. And maybe these guys are going to be small losers, right? Like maybe Gene T is going to be the RB12 instead of the RB5. Maybe Hampton is going to be the RB17 instead of the RB7, right? Like maybe Henderson is going to be whatever, right? But also it's very live that all of them are the guys you want in the playoff round. So
for sure.
Talk to me about these rookie running backs. How you feeling? Do you think it will trend up for any of them? Talk down the panickers, or talk them up, or stoke the flames. Go however you want.
I'll stoke a little bit. So I think Gigi's fine. I think the panic grows when we see things happen on primetime, and like everyone's focused on it, and we see Lauby in the 2-minute drill, and we see Zamir White getting snaps.
That is bad, man. And so is the
O-line. Good. It's not good. And the O-line sucks. The O-line is super bad. That's not good. But like, that is like, I think that was clearly like, I don't know what the hell is up with Pete, but like, dude, Carroll needs to get his shit together. And I think we might see a little bit of squeaky wheel, Gene T's in press conferences saying like, I can handle a big workload. Please give me a big workload. It looks like Geno Smith was kind of at odds with Pete Carroll as well a little bit. So they need to get their shit together. I thought Lauby looked fine, by the way. I mean, as good as a little white guy can look as a passing down back, but I think the workload will be back for Gene T. It's just kind of rough sledding right now. Hampton, I will say, man, I think Hampton will have good games, but what do good Hampton games look like, and what game environments does he get his good games? If they are in competitive matchups, does Hampton have good games, or does he have good games whenever they're blowing teams out? To me, man, the pass rate is a problem for Hampton because they don't throw to running backs, and why would they? Herbert is like one of the greatest arm talents in football right now. Keenan Allen's open, Ladd McConkey's open, QJ streaking down the field. Why would you check down? And you can run. So I think Hampton does have some problems, and I think people got way over their skis. Again, it all roads lead back to Najee when they were convinced Najee Harris couldn't play football and was going to get cut.
Team Najee's not that good for fantasy, by the way.
That's fine, but like the point remains is that if he's in your backfield and you're a rookie, you better not fuck up. Because Najee Harris is a veteran, and coaches will trust Najee Harris because he doesn't he's played every single game in his career. He's going to do the hard things. Exactly. And if you mess up and you don't do something right, like you're off the field for the game, and Najee's in there because he's going to do things right. He's a veteran. So I'm just saying he's a thorn in the side. I'm not saying that you need to be poo-poo, like you don't have Najee bags, like you're an idiot.
I have Najee bags now. When the dude fell to 160, it's like, look,
come on, dude.
The price changes. So it's like,
the bet fundamentally changed
It's
at that point.
yeah. So I was like, oh, okay, like whatever. I don't think you need two eyes to be running back. Like
And he
welcome to the
has
club.
both of them, so he's
Yeah.
fine. So I just think like Hampton, I don't know if Hampton's ever going to have too many games over like 80 rushing yards. It just doesn't seem
Yeah.
that way at the moment, the way that they're playing football. And like the way that he runs, he's a very like north-south runner. Maybe he has some long runs, I think, because I think he looks fast as shit and he's big, but yeah, I don't know, man.
Yeah. Here's what I'll say is like the Chargers look like they're certainly going to be a playoff team. And almost every one of these sharp organizations that are being pass happy like the Chargers, they realize there's probably going to be a game where you have to go to Buffalo or you have to go to Kansas City or you have to go to Denver and it's going to be snowing and you might not want to pass that game. And so these later in the year, they try to kind of establish the run. Like I remember a pass happy Bills edition where like later in the year, they kind of shut it down and being like, okay, we're going to have to be able to run it. So I think they're going to try to get it going just for like future problems. Maybe Hampton is not truly a first round talent. Like maybe he was overdrafted. Like I'm not the best guy for that. I agree with you. He looks fast. The other huge fly in the ointment is like, how much does Najee play, right? Like it could have been anywhere from Najee out of the NFL to straight up out snapping him. Like, I don't know, So all of this is a fly in the ointment. On GT, I do think, okay, Geno was just so brutal in that game, man, that it's like,
He was.
yeah, when you're trailing 20-9, but like we got to throw him the football, like we got to throw him the football. We got to get rid of Zamir White, like literally delete him from the NFL. Henderson, yeah, and it's like the issue for both the Raiders and the Patriots is like and even the Broncos, I don't love the coaching staffs as far as doing what I think is the sharpest thing in the moment. Like Vrabel and McDaniels and Peyton and this boomer ball and Raiders, it's like they're not going to play the rookie that early, right? Like Vrabel's going to make Henderson earn it. Peyton just loves this 3 running back committee stuff. I think they'll all be fine, but it might take a little bit longer than drafters were hoping, right? Like Hampton was in the 5th before the Najee explosion, and then he ended at the 2-3 turn, and that was maybe a little rich.
Yeah,
like he's literally going to be like 2% owned in DFS this week.
Maybe less. I mean, he's going undrafted in like dog bowls, so it's that's how it's pretty dire. 13 game slate, but yeah, I mean, we were taking this guy mad early.
Like I drafted Jaylen Warren over him.
So did I. I've been doing it.
Yeah. Okay, wide receiver. I would say this list has a lot of real and some fake. Malik Neighbors, Puka Nacua, Amon-Ra. 3 names that check out. Rome Odunze. Yeah, I mean, I think Rome is good. I don't think he's going to be the wide receiver 4 in football. I think they're going to get their guys going there. Quentin Johnston. Again, I think you're happy with Quentin Johnston. I think he's going to have touchdowns on the year. Ladd McConkey did just pop up on the injury report, so we'll have to see what is real there or not. I kind of hate that. I was hoping for some like low-owned Ladd due to love with QJ and Keenan. Zay Flowers looks like a league winner there. Jamar Chase, Debo, Wandale Robinson, Anika Egbuka, Keenan Allen, and CD Lamb. I'll kick it off to you, whoever you want to talk about.
Yeah, I mean, 2 Chargers on this list is kind of crazy.
And no Ladd,
Yeah, and Ladd's not one of them. That's wild. But yeah, no, I think the Keenan stuff is real. I mean, maybe he's not top 12 wide receiver, but the target share is real. Like this is like what you want to see, right? Keenan has earned targets his entire career. I think, the fact that Keenan is doing this now, I think, maybe I'm extrapolating way too far. This to me is bullish for the Bears. Like Keenan, like you couldn't get Keenan Allen the ball in Chicago, and then he goes back to LA and he's doing Keenan things. And so I just think everything in Chicago last year was just so messed up that this year, like, I think you're starting to see signs of life in Chicago. So Rome, I think Rome has just had 2 like really awesome games. I would not be surprised if DJ Moore, ends up having, stronger usage down the stretch.
There was rumbling. Like, did you hear the Ben Johnson stuff where it's like, we're going to see who practices hard this week and we're going to see who wants to play. And almost everyone is taking that as like, oh, DJ Moore might get like straight up bench for Burden this week if he's not given effort.
I don't even think that's an overreaction because they've had trouble with him for a while. Like this has been the drumbeat's pretty strong on the DJ Moore bad news.
Powder.
So big time. Yeah. So I don't disagree with that at all. Like so maybe it's even more bullish for Rome in that regard. Wandale, obviously, results merchant. Who had Wandale deep ball on their bingo card? What the hell, dude?
Darius Slayton drafters down bad. Let's put some numbers on this. QJ will finish as wide receiver X.
Gosh, I'm like I'm trouble placing this together.
Or better yet, how about this? QJ will finish with how many touchdowns? He has 2 right now. Or he has 3 right now, right? 2 the first week.
3, I think. I'll say QJ finishes with 9 touchdowns.
9. Wow. Okay. Yeah. And this is another one where I was kind of stubborn on, where it's like, dude, when he was in the 18th, 20th round, as someone that was really into Herbert, probably could have mixed him in more. I don't know what you did. I don't
have a lot of QJ.
I was drafting Keandre Lambert-Smith. I was drafting.
So was I.
Trey Harris. I don't think Trey Harris is like, he's a second round pick. I don't think he's going to stay a 0 forever.
He's coming, man. He looks good. Like he just isn't getting snaps.
Like, does it need a Keenan injury? Does it need a QJ bad game? What's it going to take?
That's the thing. Like, I don't know what it takes. I think what they end up doing, I do think that Keenan is probably the one who takes snaps off to put in Trey Harris. Like, so I think Keenan's
Have you seen
more
his shoulder, by the way? He has
the AC joint. He's had that forever. Yeah, it's gnarly. It's gnarly. So I think Keenan's more of like the 10 yards and under type of wide receiver. And let's say they're like deep, like it's like 2nd and 15 or plus. That's when you bring in like Trey Harris with the speed. But it is going to be tough for Trey Harris to see the field. But I think he looked good, man. Like he definitely is fast.
I'm personally not worried for Ladd. Like, I think Ladd is going to be an utter smash on the pass happy Broncos. He's clearly the best wide receiver still. And I think it's kind of good news if teams actually have to like cover Quentin Johnston, because he's kind of getting there on like busted coverage, like long balls, which is like, okay, that's good.
That's just good coaching. You know what I mean?
Like that.
Yeah, because like that is opened up for QJ because Ladd and company take so much attention. Like Ladd, if you're spooked on Ladd, just like get some all 22 film and watch him play, dude. Ladd is so good. Like you have nothing to worry about. Ladd is really
leagues, good. Trade for him.
100%. Run, don't
Zay
walk.
And Debo, 2 similarly priced players. Who would you rather have?
Zay or Debo? Zay.
Yeah, I think Zay too, but it's close, man. Debo looking pretty good there too. Igbuka, like, are we concerned at all? He doesn't have a big target share. He is scoring touchdowns on like 4 targets. He did get a little banged up. I have a lot of Igbuka when he was cheap.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
definitely
going to return eventually.
Yeah, I'm definitely team not real with the Igbuka results so far.
Okay.
I think that those will come down to earth. Running hot on touchdowns. Haven't seen a ton of yardage out of Igbuka yet. I think Igbuka is pretty awesome. Don't get me wrong, but this is definitely not like the results here do not match the usage. And I'm pretty simple in that regard, where I'm going to go ahead and follow the usage for guys.
He is a rookie though, so he could earn more as it goes. And I don't know when Godwin is returning or if he's returning.
He was limited today. That doesn't mean he's going to play this week. They're clearly like slow rolling him back, I think. But
you can't trust Bowles at all, man. Like Bowles is like, he'll play on Monday. It's like, dude, shut up. On the game theory question for Keenan, I was drafting Keenan when he was like a 15th, 16th, 17th round pick. I didn't draft as much of him in the 10th, despite me thinking he was a good pick there.
Mm-hmm.
Did you not care, or did you get your Keenan early?
No, I chased him up the board. My average ADP, I think, was like 140 or 150.
That's cheap though.
Yeah, because I had a lot. I had a lot when he was free, and it was nerve wracking. I'm not gonna lie. Like I'm not gonna say everybody's an idiot for like not drafting him in the 18th. It was scary because it was like he very clearly was like, it's this or that or I'm done. So like that's not fun, like that's not a fun bet to make. So once he signed, I chased him up the board. You don't have to feel bad if you like are regretting not taking Keenan cheap, because it was not a fun bet. It was scary, but I chased him up the board.
I think there's no clearer point than Amari Cooper literally retired, who was like the other guy, So it's like someone out there was taking Keenan. They're rejoicing. Someone out there was taking Amari Cooper, and they feel like an idiot. And you could say that Keenan looked good last year and Cooper did not. I was drafting Keenan, but like you, I was like, even with Dobbins, who I drafted, like Dobbins, I was very confident with signing. Keenan, I was confident, but I didn't really see the fit with the Chargers, and I was wrong.
Exactly.
Looks good there.
That was the problem. Is the Keenan didn't really make a lot of sense because of the draft pick. But
just kind of had to trust the process. And Trey Harris, it didn't make like I thought he was going to be like a Cardinal or something, and it's like Kyler, whatever. CD Lamb, no touchdowns, looks awesome. I think Chase will be okay, folks, but we got to see there.
Yeah, fingers crossed. Fingers crossed.
Okay, tight end, Tucker Kraft. Boom. Zach Ertz, Juwan Johnson, Tyler Warren. No touchdowns for him, I believe. Nope. Trey McBride, Travis Kelce, Brock Bowers, Dalton Kincaid, Harold Fannin, Jake Ferguson, Kyle Pitts, and Davis Allen. What a list. What a list.
I did not expect to see Davis Allen on this list. And I see your
I think post, he legit scored like 1 8-yard touchdown, and that's enough, I guess.
This this is a small sample, and the cream will likely rise to the top with tight end, but this is like a poster child for why I punted tight end like almost the entire best ball season. Is this right here? Like, what a smattering of names, and they're all separated by like very few points, and they don't even have a lot of points to their name other than Tucker Kraft, really. But
and even him, like he had an 80. Like I was a Kraft guy, but he had like 180-yard busted coverage play, and he ended up with like 120 yards.
He's clearly sick and like super awesome, and like exactly how you want a tight end to look. But yeah, his ADOT is like 5, so he's not getting those big plays very often, I don't think.
Yeah, I mean, I love Trey McBride and I love Brock Bowers, but what I was saying, like as someone who historically is elite tight end, and I have a lot of Kittle too, who I think was going to be a smash and still could be.
That's unfortunate.
Is I really think that the mid-round guys and maybe even the late-round guys are like, we used to take Mike Gesicki, Noah Fant, Tucker Fursk, or whoever that was. we took like we took the wrong tight end on the Cowboys, Blake Jarwin.
Yeah.
We took like all these guys in like the 9, 10, 11. Like my BBM team had Fant and Gesicki in like 10 and 11 or something. The mid-round tight end bets were meaningfully different. It's like Tucker Kraft, the rookies, Tyler Warren and Loveland. You have the guys of yesteryear, Kelce and Andrews. You had Dalton Kincaid, the first-round pick. You had Jake Ferguson, the third target on the Cowboys, right? You had Dallas Goedert, who got hurt. And then later than that, you even had like Kyle Pitts, and really like the later ones to me is like Harold Fannin, who insane college data. Zach Ertz, who people were pretty much just like, no, he can't keep getting away with it. And like, maybe he will. I don't know.
I faded him.
I have a lot in the eliminator. I think I was taking him in August I was just like, you know what?
He's still here.
He's here, Yep,
he made it. Yeah.
I haven't heard a blip about Sanat, like literally a word.
Yeah. What a guy, Ben Sanat. No, this is a pretty interesting list. My hot take that I actually believe is Tyler Warren, tight end 1. I'm blown away by Tyler Warren's translation into the NFL and how seamless it is and how well he looks the part and how he's like first read on half of their passing on half of their dropbacks for Indianapolis right now. And just given the fact that Daniel Jones is the quarterback there, that's just like the easiest read in the world for him. And I don't think they're going to try to make things as difficult for him. Patrick Surtain was like matching on Tyler Warren in that game against the Colts. I mean, dude,
he got hurt, but yeah, he was like the fact that he was doing that,
that's what I'm saying. They were like, yo, like that's your assignment. All right, man, this guy's a total freaking dude. I'm not guaranteeing he's going to finish tight end 1 in points because obviously touchdowns are variant, but that is like a guy that I'm overreacting on, and I believe it. I mean, he looks so good.
I have literally 0 Tyler Warren in BBM. It wasn't on purpose. It is a regret, obviously, looking how he looks. And I don't regret not chasing him up, But what I regret is like I was not into Downs and Pittman when they got expensive because Tyler Warren, like I literally tweeted out like, hello, Tyler Warren, who went 15 in the draft, is like in the 120s. I regret not drafting him then. Now I do have a lot of like Kraft. I have a lot of Loveland, who I think I want to talk about him once we get through this list too. Like, I don't think it's over for him through week 2. Like they have a week 5 bye.
Yeah.
I do think that Tyler Warren, like I think touchdowns is the biggest question, right? Because like 8 for 60, that doesn't do it for you in half-point land, right? Like, so Kraft, like, yeah, he's live for touchdowns because the Packers just look like a juggernaut, right? Ertz, he's going to get a lot of touchdowns, is what it is. McBride, he's doing it on yards. He's going to get some touchdowns. Bowers is straight up hurt. I think Kincaid looks meaningfully better this year.
I do too.
I think the touchdowns could come. He earned more route participation in week 2 before it was a blowout. So interesting to see what he can do in some of these games. Like, dude, first round pick, year 3, like we're literally seeing a year 6 breakout for Juwan Johnson right now. It's like it takes a while for these guys. Kyle Pitts also looks good to me.
Kyle Pitts looks really good.
Yeah, he looks good, man. And I don't think Kelsey's keeping it up. That one feels bad to me. Let's talk about Mark Andrews. Let's talk about Loveland.
Sure. Yeah, Mark Andrews, I have like next to none of. I really was not a fan of that. I understood why people were getting there. For me, I just, I wasn't making those excuses for Mark Andrews. I just don't think he has it. And
he had like 55 catches and 11 touchdowns last year.
Exactly. Right. Like that's not like what I'm chasing, especially with the way that their offense is set up. They've got Derrick Henry. They have Zay Flowers. Lamar can do it with his legs. Too many other options. Likely is knocking on the doorstep. If we think it's bad for Andrews now, wait until Likely's back. I mean, I really think that it's game over for him. That's another overreaction that I believe in. Loveland,
he could have like 30 targets and 7 touchdowns again. Like that's just kind of the Ravens, but like it's bad.
You're right. Yeah, they're going to score a lot of points. He's going to be active in the red zone. But yeah, I'm feeling really good about that fade because he was expensive for tight end.
Yeah.
So Loveland.
Let's talk about Loveland because I was a big Loveland drafter. Now maybe maybe something I underestimated is that the Bears GM is an idiot.
Dude, polls.
Yeah,
he got extended too before this season.
I know, and so I mean he did have the hurt shoulder. It is week 2. He is at least running routes, and maybe DJ Moore is benched here. Maybe Loveland's going to play more. I mean, I'm tending not to panic on him. Obviously, when Tyler Warren is excelling out of the gate, the magnifying glass is going to be on Loveland, and they do get the week 5 bye. So, like for me, it's kind of like let's talk week 6, week 7, and see what's going on with Loveland. But what's your take? Because he looks kind of fast still to me.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of hard to I took a victory lap on Twitter, and half the time I'm just like bullshit.
I could not, dude. This is insane. Like, I'll give that Loveland is not smashing, but people think fading Komet that's totally fine.
Dude, yeah, please stop beating yourself up over a full Komet fade. You're like
do you want Dawson Knox too? Like, do you want who do you want?
Oh my god, dude, that is so funny. No, so I took a little victory lap on the Loveland stuff because I thought that Warren just looks so goddamn good. It's hard to say with Loveland because he's not running a lot of routes.
He ran 20. So I think he ran 20. Komet ran 33 ish is what I remember in usage.
Yeah. So week 2, he finally got on the field.
He was running routes week 1 too, but the game was a blowout. So you would hope that Loveland would just kind of get that to get acclimated. Someone asked about, by the way, Hawkinson. He looks like legit toast, man. He looks bad out there.
Oh yeah, that clip of Hawkinson, that got me. That got me.
That looked like, folks. Just look on the X, Twitter, whatever. Look up Hawkinson. The route was bad.
So yeah, 21 routes for Loveland in both games. There, I was misreading my utilization stuff. 22. He got a target for 22 ADOT.
No yards to speak of or anything.
It just isn't good. It's not good.
No, that's not great. But it is week 2.
Something's got to change, man. The
I'm
Bears are
looking to
clearly
say, if
still kind
anyone
of
wants to
figuring
bet
themselves
Davis
out.
Allen versus Loveland, slide in the DMs.
Exactly, right. I think there's hope for Loveland, but yeah, Bears got to figure their shit out.
Yeah, I think what is encouraging is Ben Johnson strikes me as a coach who will majorly shake it up, right? Like, I think there will come to now. Maybe him and Burden are just not the talents. I tend to think they still are, but I don't think he's going to be afraid to be like, you know what, DJ Moore, you're sitting this week. Like I think he's crazy enough to do that.
Would DJ Moore get traded, do you think, ever?
I do think that could happen. I just think that I think Ben would rather bench him for a week because he looked good to me week 1. Moore did at least. I didn't watch the week 2 blowout as much, but I thought he could have got a touchdown there. And yeah, guys, Bowers, he's just not healthy, so that's just a little unlucky.
I think he ran more routes week 2 than he did week 1, which is like wild because he's playing with that big ass leg brace. No, Bowers is not toast. The Raiders clearly are struggling right now, but Bowers is not toast. Maybe he's not going to pay off ADP, but he's not toast.
All right, let's move on. I tweeted something out that got here's some advanced rate kings.
Okay.
Cook 44%. We'll do this real quick. Javonte 40, QJ 38, Amon-Ra 34, Neighbors 30, Kraft 30, JT 30, Keenan 30, Puka 30, Achane 30. This isn't everyone. I just pulled some names. It's most of the guys though. Anyone sticking out to you? Anyone you regret not having? Anyone who you think is going to grow? Anyone that's going to shrink?
I definitely, my biggest regret right now is not having more Malik Neighbors. I was kind of taking other guys over him. I was a little concerned about the situation in New York, and then kind of just like
injuries, man.
Yeah, and he's really banged up too, for sure. But he's like, God, man, he might be the best wide receiver in football. I mean, he's so goddamn good.
I hear you, but I also think it's like a little because it's like I personally still think Brian Thomas, Nico, like any of them could have just had that week. And Kyer Elam, folks, as a Bills fan, that's the corner that Neighbors was toasting again and again and again and again. And the same guy getting toasted in that Chiefs playoff game by like Hollywood Brown again and again and again. He is like legit the worst corner in football. I do agree that Neighbors looks absolutely electric. The question is, how good is the offense week to week? Is he going to get hurt? And I still, it's like all these elite guys like Nico, Brian Thomas, Amon-Ra, Puka, they're all live to just like smash. But he might be like, I agree. He might be like the first or second pick in fantasy next year if he's healthy,
The most obvious regret right now is Javonte. That could change, but right now, man, Javonte looks like he's extremely serviceable. Like I'm not going to go out and say Javonte looks awesome. I don't think he looks awesome, but like he is certainly good enough to be a really good fantasy running back for the Cowboys, and we know how valuable that can be. So
and the Cowboys look good. The Cowboys look good.
Their offense is sick, man. So I'm definitely like kicking myself for not having more of that bet because the upside, in hindsight, is pretty obvious.
Yeah, I mean, again, I think the biggest rub on Javonte is like, what does he look like week 8? Like maybe I think 2 things happen. Either maybe he's finally healthy and he's like the Javonte from college, or pretty soon we're like, oh yeah, this guy, this is why it didn't work out in other places, Anything else you want to say here for anyone?
No. I feel shout out Jonathan Taylor, man. I definitely am glad
JT,
to have the JT exposure that
I mean, JT, like these are the type of guys I like in best ball. Even if JT and Cook were not smashing right now, they're both like they're so good in a weekly game because they're fast, right? They're fast and they can score the touchdowns. Obviously, with JT, you're getting all the snaps too, which like snap count bros love. You're not going to get that with Cook always, but he got 21 carries, Yeah,
but he's insanely efficient, which people have trouble wrapping their heads around.
Yeah, that's like the whole Bills offense. Okay, this tweet got the people going. So I'm gonna read it out. I'm gonna explain myself. We're gonna talk it out.
Yeah.
People who advance 25 out of 150 BBM teams, which is average, by the way, are more likely to have a team in the Best Ball Mania finals than those who advance 100 out of 150. The reason is the person who is average will have more diverse teams in general. The 100 out of 150 drafter could put 10 teams in the finals if their narrow pool runs pure. But they're also drawing very live to get blanked with week 15. And then I give an example, not that this is like predictive, but happened just last year. I was sub 25 teams. I don't remember how many, like maybe 19. And I happened to get 2 teams in the finals. Davis asked me on this show, and he's like, because I think it's no shade to Wizard. He's a good drafter at advancing.
Yeah, that was
But
an awesome season for him.
Yeah, but he had like 80 or 90 teams. And I told Davis, no, I would not trade my teams for Wizards teams because I looked at Wizards portfolio and it was all the same player. It was like 80% Tua, 80% this guy, 60% this guy. Wizard, literally of his 80 teams, he got 0 to week 16. He got blanked. Okay. You don't want the exact same team in the playoffs, folks. A couple players, sure, but you can only win the contest once. So what I'm trying to explain here is that if you're going to advance such a strong amount, where we're not trying to advance every team, folks, like you want to advance every single team that you draft, of course, but let's give some examples here. Like the only way to advance this many teams is to jam the same players again and again.
Yes.
And if you think a guy, like let's just use 2 players. Like let's just say you thought, and I want to talk about expensive players. Let's just say you thought Travion Henderson was a meaningfully better bet than James Cook or whatever, or James Cook was even like I like Cook more than Henderson. So do I want 100% Cook and 0% Henderson? No, because we're talking about a 4th round pick in fantasy, right? And I don't think the outcome week 15, week 16, week 17 is 100% Cook, 0% Henderson.
Right.
The way other people think about that is they're like, no, this is the best player. And they don't want to think about the nitty gritty. They don't want to think about the math. They want to throw the hands up and be like, this guy will advance the most. So I think it's meaningfully different where just last year, for example, if you had 100% Saquon, sorry, you're not winning because you need to have Jonathan Taylor. So if you're going to be risky at the top of drafts, you're drawing very live to have. Now, you could have a great year. You could have this magical year where you put 30 teams in the finals. But you're really not trying to do that. You're trying to get teams to the finals. You're trying to get as many teams to the finals with diverse teams as you can. If you're jamming cheap guys, so let's just say you had 100% Javonte or 100% Quentin Johnston, and the price tag is like a 12th round pick or 16th round pick. Now, this is advancing a lot of teams and allowing you to advance diverse combos earlier in the draft. So like the Puka year, the Kyron year, you could advance a lot of diverse teams, right? But like people hate this because they don't want to think critically.
No,
but yeah, I don't think the optimal amount is 100% of teams.
I'm like blown away at, because I thought you even like explained it with like you explained the nuance here. You didn't just straight up say I'd rather have 25 advancing than 100 and like didn't explain yourself. I'm really shocked at the reaction here because it's mathematically not possible to, it's a sliding scale, right? You can like slide the scale of how concentrated your exposures are versus what your advance rate can be. If you have at max like a handful of 30, like use my portfolio for example, like I'm a handful of 30% players, some 20% players, like that's a pretty concentrated exposure, but not insane. I think the max I could probably advance would be like 40% of my teams, and like that's like mathematically, you can't advance 100 out of 150 with a diverse portfolio. And if that's how you're playing, you should be playing a few high stakes teams and concentrating your teams around those players, in my opinion. Unless you want to have the magical year, like you're saying, where like, guess what? Like I ran so pure, I have 15 teams in the BBM finals, because that's kind of the bet you're making when you play these concentrated exposures. People just love to, I think, like, one, pick on you, my guy, and 2, take this stuff out of context. Like,
well, I think it's a combination of people unable to think critically. Some people are probably being disingenuous, right? Like, I think the gritty is a good example too. Like, the gritty has awesome advance rates right now, and I do think like the gritty 1 year, he's going to have a magical year. It might be like 50 years from now where he gets like 30 teams in the finals because he jams the same players, right? But he also just, and I think the gritty's also improving in contest lineup structure.
He is
because like, you know, like people like ourselves have probably been like, well, this is bad. And maybe he's listening, but he also is going to have way more years where you just get straight up blanked if things go wrong. Not to mention like, and I'm not you need to diversify yourself to $1 million, right? Like I had 60% Gabe Davis 1 year. which was like a 12th round pick. Because I was like, oh, this is the wide receiver 2 on the Bills, I thought, I was like kind of right. He went to a 5th round pick, but like it didn't. And guess what? My team
He
that
wasn't
won
on the finals team
didn't have Gabe Davis. It had Cole Beasley, right? So it's like it. But yeah, I think this is kind of self-explanatory. Of course,
I think so too. I think it's extremely self-explanatory. Like we know how the contest. Like if you don't know how the contest works, like you said, it's just so disingenuous, in my opinion, to disagree with that. Like to have 100 teams, you are advancing like one team. That's really what it is. It's essentially one team, and I'd rather try to get to the finals and run good as optimally as possible.
I think it's okay to do it with like a couple players. Like if you thought Blake Corum was the key to fantasy this year, and you wanted to jam Blake Corum, or even if you wanted to say Deebo Samuel, like if you thought, no, the market's not seeing this, like Deebo Samuel is like heads and shoulders a league winner. But even like Jamar Chase last year, like I was a big Jamar Chase guy. Right. Did I want 100% Jamar Chase? No, because that's literally insane. Like, and Chase was good, but he wasn't good enough to win, actually, like literally the winning combo was JT and I forget the other guy.
Well, T. Higgins. You needed Higgins and
Higgins. Yeah. Oh my God, man. Dude, I don't know if you know this, but if Chase Brown slide down at the 1, I got 2nd last year.
Are you in BBM?
Yeah.
Oh my God. Oh shit.
Man. You wanted to get unique last year and go like JT and Derrick Henry, because that was like those were the highest scoring week 17 guys. So yeah, Liam, you get to draft 16 players. Newsflash though, Terrence, the guys at the top of the draft matter the most. So showing up with the same combo of expensive guys and then just having some different, like, oh, I have whatever, Troy Franklin here and I have Quentin Johnston here. Like, that's not what you're trying to do. You want like, oh, this is Jonathan Taylor and Malik Neighbors. This is Amon-Ra and Puka. You want different combos at the top of the draft.
Exactly. I hate to run a few minutes early, but I think
you're good, Nez.
I think my son had a blowout, and we need my life needs some assistance.
I was going to look at your exposures and mine. I'll look at your exposures without you. I appreciate you. Right. Everyone follow Nez at Nez Takes. Appreciate
Speak freely. It's all good. No, I appreciate you for having me on, Liam. I'll have to get you on the show sometime soon. Have a good night, bro. Thanks for having me.
Peace. Appreciate you. All right, guys. Usually you try to go like an hour and a half or so here, but Nez, new father, shout out new fathers out there. I'll be there one day. This portion I was going to look at my teams, was going to look at Nez's teams, and look at some of our eliminator teams. So I'll do this with out Nez. My highest scoring team right now, by the way, I'm advancing 30 of 150 teams. My top team right now is a Josh Allen, Jared Goff, JJ McCarthy team. I drafted this team on stream. Do not love McCarthy, but the only reason I did it is because he fell to the 150s. Achane, Cook, Kamara, Miles Sanders, Keaton Mitchell. I don't think it's over for Keaton Mitchell, by the way, folks. I think he will have his time in the sun. Amon-Ra, Addison. I think Addison feels good and bad. It feels good that he's like on my top scoring team and scored 0 points. It feels bad that McCarthy looks brutal. Egbuka, Mooney, Kupp, Palmer, Demario Douglas, Alec Pierce. So Egbuka at round 7, 10, he got up to the 5th, so some value there. Mooney just getting back out there. Kupp not over just yet. Palmer and Douglas, Pierce, and then Loveland and Kincaid. Tight end doesn't matter, So those are my advance rates right now. We'll look at my exposures too after. Let's look at Nez in honor of Nez. Nez having a good start to his year. 35 of 150, 23%. Number 242. So let's check out Nez's top team here. Of course, guys, this is only going to be by a couple points, right? Like I think his top scoring team is outscoring mine by 20 points or so. Goff, Richardson, and Rodgers. So I'm sure he would snap switch Richardson if he could. Not seeing the date drafted. Oh, no, it is. Let's see. Date drafted August 13th. So probably just before Daniel Jones was announced the starter. Don't remember the timeline there. Rodgers, he is a Steelers fan, but he doesn't have a lot of Rodgers. Derrick Henry and Cook, who like Cook is not too dissimilar to Derrick Henry, but he's just not the same like body type as far as like what they do for the offense. Score touchdowns, score long touchdowns. Chuba Hubbard, Aaron Jones, who I drafted a lot of it, or a lot too. Best thing I can say about Aaron Jones, folks, is at least he's hurt in now and not later in the year. Doesn't mean he can't get hurt again, but yeah, he went on IR. So Jordan Mason should be a smash, and then Jaylen Warren to go with Rodgers. Amon-Ra, Garrett Wilson. I'm not a Garrett Wilson guy, but he had a good game, and he's going to have a strong target share. Fields is out this week for the concussion, by the way. Egbuka, Josh Palmer, Romeo Dobbs, Hollywood Mitchell. This is the most like best ball group of guys. Adonai Mitchell and Isaac Tesla. How is this team 242 in the contest? Tyler Warren and Jonnu, because it's like Mitchell's a 0 right now. Tesla's not done enough. So I guess it's because Amon-Ra, Garrett, Egbuka, Hollywood, Henry Cook, Chuba, Warren, and then Goff and Rodgers both had good games, and Tyler Warren too. But strong advance rates for him right now, 35 of 150. If we look at our exposures just to see what's doing this for us. For me, it's Cook. I really liked Cook's playoff matchups, and I like that people who think like me in general were not drafting him. Kincaid and Keon, I think they're going to be better in best ball guys. There's room for either of them to emerge as league winners. Like, I'm not ready to call it over for Keon because Sauce Gardner covered him and Josh Allen had 150 passing yards, but the Bills might have games like that because they're so much better than a lot of their schedule. Loveland, again, we talked about him. Tillman has got some lucky touchdowns. Jaylen Warren feels nice. Hunter, the Jags corner got hurt and he started playing more corner, so hope the corner is healthy. But wish I had some more like particularly Zay Flowers because I had them ranked next to each other. Chris Olave, think his days will come. J-Mo just had a good game. Reed out for a long time. Aaron Jones hurt. So already some injuries are piling up here. Who are the guys like the brutal injuries right now? Burrow. If you're curious what I got in Burrow, only 11 teams. So I wasn't, I was willing to go just like Chase and another quarterback for him. Help me out with the injuries, guys. Aaron Jones and Jaden Reed we already looked at. Purdy, 12%. So that one's hurting right now, but he should be back. Kittle, 13%. So that one's hurting right now, but at least tight end doesn't matter. Eckler, thank you, 7%. I didn't chase Eckler up, so that one could have been worse. I don't have a ton of merit, though, if he's the beneficiary. Only 7 teams. Didn't really chase him up too much. Mixon, only 6 teams. So that one's pretty fine for me, at least. Let's look at Jones. We just looked at. He's one of my highest drafted guys. Or how much Jordan Mason do I have? Not as much. Like, I was a Mason guy in pre-draft, but I thought he got a little expensive. Only 6% there. He's drawing live to be a smash. Ayuk, I mean, okay, we can look at Ayuk and Rice, but they're getting uninjured, you would think. 9% Ayuk and Rice 10%. Which I think with both of them, seeing how the years went, Godwin 7%. Like, you feel good with all these guys as long as they return. So Nez, a Worthy. I don't have a lot of Worthy. Like, I liked James Cook just more than Worthy, so that's why I don't have a lot, but he's coming back, 5%. Mark Andrews, I also don't have a lot of. 2 teams. So that's a win. Some good fades by me, right? Like Caleb Johnson, literally 0. Mark Andrews, nearly 0. Who else are busts, guys? Who else are huge busts? Like the rookies, I don't really count. Well, Jonathan Taylor is not a bust, but 13%. Christian Kirk is hurt. I have 11% there. I think he's going to play this week. Brian Thomas, I don't think will remain a bust, but I have 11%. McMillan is hurt. Thank you, 7%. Dude, this guy's got some great takes. Hunter is a bust. I don't think so. Bigsby, 13%. Kind of liked him as like a fall in the end zone guy. I don't have a lot of two in here, 10%, but I do have a lot of two in my overall portfolio. Coker, I have almost none. 2 teams. AJ Brown, I don't think AJ Brown will remain a bust. He's a better and best ball guy, though. 9%. Ray Davis isn't a bust, man. Like, I think expectations got high. All right, let's look at Nez, since Nez is the guest of the show. 50 teams of Warren and 50 teams of JMO. I respect it, man. Jatavian Sanders, too, number 0. He was getting a lot of targets. Darnell Mooney, he's just getting healthy. Debo. So this is what's carrying Nez right now. Warren, JMO, Debo. Just a reminder, guys, like this is small sample stuff. So it's like both for Nez and myself. Like JMO had a good week. We both have JMO. That's not going to happen every week. Keenan, looks like he was into Jonnu too. Rico Dowdle, who I also have some. Tootin, he has a lot. Yeah, I didn't end up with as much Tootin on Underdog because I drafted a lot of teams early. And in early drafts, like a lot of the rookies were just crazily priced. Najee, he's a Najee guy, as we heard. Coker, who, I mean, it kind of looks good because Leggett looks bad. Goff, I like the matchup, and he has JMO. Golden, who's a player we want to see for his exposures? Tootin was crazy expensive in May, where I drafted 50 teams in May, right? Like he was like 100 overall, and he ended like 150, 140, 130. Who's the player you want to look up for Nez, folks? He is a Scatabo, 15 teams for him. Kincaid, 10 teams for him. Cook, 15 teams for him. Freiermuth, only 2 teams. So I guess he drafted more teams late, is my guess. Godwin, 9 teams. How did the injuries hurt him? Aaron Jones hurt him, hurt me too. Was he on Team Mason? Not really. Yeah, I mean, Tootin was a lot cheaper in August. That's why I had like Tootin's one of my highest owned players on DK. Amari Cooper, he was not into him. Juwan, he wasn't into him. Neither was I, really, to be honest. Lamar, 8 teams. Josh Allen, 11 teams. Mixon, 0. Fannin, 14 teams. Like, yeah, Fannin, I don't have a lot in Underdog, again, because when I drafted, but literally have 30% Fannin for DK. Parker Washington. I drafted some Parker Washington. You want to see some Parker Washington? I drafted some for you, man. You ready? 1 team. Woody Marks, for me, 8. All right, the Eliminator. Judkins. Let's look that over. Judkins, I ended up with 10 teams. And Nez ended up with 3 teams. I had a little bit of Cooper. I don't know if I have any Jennings. Oh, this is... No, not... I mean, Juwan. Let's jump over to the Eliminator. No, I don't think Shakir is a bust. Oh, are the pods here already? Drafts, active. Oh, man, if I have a pod against Nez, I'm going to tell him to come back with the blowout and all. Just kidding. Shout out Underdog getting these advanced already. Man, I wish I did all 10 of my big eliminators. I only did 2 and I lost 1. All right, 48. Let's see. Who are my opponents, folks? Christopher, we meet again, Christopher. All right, let's check. Are we facing Davis? No. Are we facing Pat again? No. All right, if you're playing, well, let's see. Are we facing Nez? No. So I have 48 teams. Nez has 46, so pretty similar by us. I do think a lesson for the eliminators, I was a little stubborn at the early running backs. Like, probably should have just taken guys like JT, whatnot. All right, folks. If you're facing me, speak up. Christopher, I know you're out there. So my Josh Allen Herbert team, against Drake, May, and Trevor. This is like when the big alpha wolf shows up and you have a little wolf, you know? Gibbs, Chuba, Henderson, Benson, Wright, and Mitchell. Wright is off the injury report, so he might get garbage time against the Bills. Probably not, but pretty much Gibbs, Chuba, Henderson, Benson for me against Brees, Henderson, Benson, JCM. So definitely a better running back room for me, but you do have JCM. Ladd, who popped up on the injury report, hope he's okay. Worthy, I mean, how is this team advancing, man? Shakir, Golden. I think this is a good week for Golden, by the way. Cup, Mims, Pierce, Yoshivas, Kraft, and Likely. Fun having Likely on this team, too. He might play this week. Loveland and Strange, Neighbors, Puka. So you have a better wide receiver room, Neighbors and Puka. Hunter Diggs, Rice, Mooney, Keon. Don't think I'm this big of a projection favorite, but that's what his math tells you. Turn it off. Turn it off. Yeah, guys, if you're playing me, speak up. Speak up. So, like, I took guys like Jonathan Taylor at the 1-2 turn in, like, a draft or two, but I probably should have taken, like, him, Bucky, a lot more. I just didn't want to pass on the Pukas. And I kind of think Puka, Neighbors, Amon-Ra, like, they proved the point last week. Like, these guys can just smash in a given week. You got to tell me the name. Is it Behold? Let's see. What's my top projected team? I think it's like 118. Obviously, these projections are fun, but like low-key kind of useless. 118.58. Do I have better than that? No? Goff, Herbert, Penix, CMC, HN, Harvey, Dobbins, Woody Marks, Kendre. So no zeros so far. JSN, Mike Evans, JMO, Golden, Mooney, Shaheed, Douglas. Again, no zeros, and Kincaid and Pitts. You know what's funny? This is the team that I drafted with Davis. Okay, big boy. I see you. By the way, folks, like, subscribe. We'll be back every Wednesday with a show. This team is also projected well. Fields and Herbert, CMC, JT, Cook, Kamara. Like, that's a fun squad, you know? DJ Moore, who I barely drafted at all. Chris Olave, Jennings, Addison, Trey Harris, Tillman, Pierce, Pat Bryant, Yoshivas, Wicks. Wicks is feeling good. I got a lot of Wicks in the eliminator. Kraft and Goddard, that feels good as well. Yeah, fun team. Strong at running back, has enough wide receivers. The classic 2-4-10-2. And everyone has a pulse right now, you know? Pat Bryant's not running a lot of snaps. Yoshivas's pulse is on life support after the quarterback. Addison will play soon. DJ Moore might get benched, but, like, they're all out there. Hold. No, we're not going to do this right now. I'm sorry, Owen. That would take a long time. Okay, we got to control F this. Hold. Close matchup here. Herbert, Trevor, Jacobs, Cook, Judkins, Harvey. They can't handle the Judkins projection. Jefferson, T, Hunter, Igbuka, Burden, Keon, Wicks, Goddard, Kasicki, Otten. This guy, you have Taysom Hill, man, and Nick Westbrook-Akine. You know, uniqueness isn't as valuable in this. Gene T, Henry, Pacheco, Javonte. So Javante's kind of carrying your squad. I don't think Javante's going to get there every week. I'll say it. Yeah, man. The Judkins chip, like, I was doing some, but again, it didn't feel great. But I tended to think that he would be fine. Like on drafters and whatnot, I was just like, okay, round 20, whatever. He felt decidedly different than Mixon. Because there's a chance that he was just like, you know, innocent. Is this sorted by projection? Certainly not. Because this team is also projected well, but not listed first. Hurts, Richardson, Stafford. Oh, this is a CMC Puka team. And I'm so thankful I took Stafford on the team. It wouldn't have advanced without it. Richardson instead of Daniel Jones obviously sucks. CMC, Swift, Jalen Warren, Tootin, Marks, Brooks. So awesome enough running back room. Puka Smith, Ibuka, Keon Mooney, Trey Harris, Keenan. Late round Keenan, feel really good too. Trey McBride and Kincaid. So yeah, this team feels awesome. It's got some not great pieces, but the combo of CMC and Puka is going to win a lot of matchups. Do wish I kind of went James Cook over Hurts, though, for this one. Who, obviously, I got a lot of Cook. I don't know if I have enough as much in the Eliminator. Things got kind of crazy here. The orange names are where you're... honestly, I don't know. I was going to say where you're projected to win, but looking at... Oh, the white is where you're projected to win. Okay. Nope, that's not right because this white is... I don't know what white versus orange means. I can't sort it out. Sorted by projected margin. Okay, Patrick. I would ask you to please change it to projected points, but no one's going to have enough teams for it to matter pretty soon. So this is the one where I'm most projected to win. Makes sense, Patrick. By the way, guys, this show, I meant to mention this at the start, is not possible without Patrick. So if you want to buy the man a beer, literally on BBMDB, you could send him $5. You could send him $10, whatever. He does this for free. This site is such a godsend to the best ball community. And, it allows you to search like such cool things in best ball land, right? So like combos, something I think is so cool is like, oh, how about Derrick Henry and Tootin? Was a Derrick Henry drafter more likely to take Tootin? 3,108 teams? Or was a Puka Nacua drafter more likely to take by Shell Tootin? 6,000 teams. And it's like, oh, so the Derrick Henry drafters think a certain way. And by the way, I'm doing this live. What about Travis Etienne? Was it Etienne drafter or Javonte? Let's do Javonte. Was a Puka drafter more likely to take Javonte Williams, or was a Derrick Henry drafter? What do you guys think? 46-40 for Puka. How about Derrick Henry? And sometimes I'm wrong on this. Sometimes it's like the things I think. Yeah, so that one was like a tie. How about Travis Etienne? If we assume that since Puka was more with Tootin, then Henry's probably more with Etienne. 37-20 versus Puka. And maybe like Brian Thomas is a better pick. I don't know. 5,000. Survivor. This is kind of a best ball show, Alex. I'm leaving for a wedding tomorrow. Here's what I did for Survivor. I'll just show you guys real quick. Real quick. My picks. I might change these as always, but here's what I got right now. I got 8 teams live. I'm kind of mixing it up this week. This team, I just choose the best team. So Bills, I'm choosing on this one. I went Falcons over Panthers. I went Seahawks over Saints. This is the weird one where I just chose Bucks over Jets. Again, Seahawks over Saints. Colts over Titans for 2. and Seahawks over Saints. So I think Seahawks and Colts are the best picks this week. But I did get weird because hopefully some upsets happen and I want some teams live. Go back and screenshot that if you want my survivor picks, but we're going back to best ball. What are some other interesting combos, guys? Who's a rarely drafted guy that you're happy to have? I think Blake Corum is one. $31, so that's 50%-ish in the contest. It's what I got this week, man. I'm sorry. Turpin. Yeah, I actually drafted some Turpin. But he's not running a lot of snaps. He's just kind of getting there. I'm a little surprised if Wicks is low drafted. I was jamming him in late August. Only 20,000 teams because he was the guy we were drafting early too. So 11 teams feels good if he's only like 30% drafted. Wandale was 100% drafted, I think. I would think at least. Like, okay, here's how you tell who's 100% drafted. And I think Patrick sometimes has the math on this to show the percentage. 56,056 is 100%. So Wandale was nearly 100%. Diami Brown is probably very highly drafted. We got that right. Yeah, 50,000. Troy Franklin is one where I don't have much at all. And he was really only drafted late in the year. Savion Williams. I mean, I don't think you feel great about Savion Williams, but he's rarely drafted. Higbee is an interesting one. Who am I thinking of? On the same team, not Tutu. Help me out, guys. Not Tutu. The other third wide receiver. Calvin Austin is a good one to do. Whittington, thank you. Calvin Austin about a little over 50% drafted. Whittington, 38.79. So very rarely drafted Whittington. I drafted some 2-2-2, just kind of hoping for some 2-2-2, hoping for some spike weeks. Demarcus Robinson, he's got to be rarely drafted. He could be a thing. There's no one drafted Tongas. Did anyone draft Tongas? No. Fannin should be rare. Should be somewhat rare, but got drafted in August, I'm assuming. Yeah, a little under 50% Fannin. Flacco is not a valuable one. We're not doing it. Ricky Person, I already showed this, but 2 people drafted him. These people love a bit. Jelani Woods. I mean, I asked for good guys that are rarely drafted. Darren Waller, man. Is that a good one? No, but he was drafted a lot. Let's look up the Wizard, by the way, because this guy, I think, exemplifies the point I was trying to say earlier, where he drafts very risky, right? Now, he drafted less risky this year than he did the year before, so I think he's learning, right? But he's still like 129 Tua teams. This is what I'm talking about, where I think he's a Dolphins fan. 61 CMC teams, 40%. Now, last year, these numbers would have been like 70%. So he did learn to diversify a little bit, right? Yeah, he's actually a lot more diversified this year. So he's evolved. This is a lot better than what he did last year, I thought, as far as like making it through the playoff rounds. And that's something people need to adjust for. So I think he's evolved. How about hit him with the gritty? Who is advancing an absurd amount of teams right now. He has a great week 2 against week 2. But yeah, and I think the gritty's evolved too. He's not as risky, but 76% Ramondre. Best thing is he's cheap. 71% Adonai Mitchell, also cheap. Like, no expensive players here for the gritty. So I think in general it's fine he's playing risky because it's not like in years past, this would have been like Lamar, Josh Allen, and it's like, dude, that's too expensive, right? Tez Walker did get some, but dude, Tez Walker is not even running the most snaps for the wide receiver 3. But the gritty's still more risky than most, obviously. Right? Like my exposures, I used to be a little bit more risky, but they've smoothed out a little bit. A bunch of like 2x guys above 8%, but no one like 50%. Yeah, Tylan Wallace is one. Tyquan Thornton, that's a good player to look up. Because he got some buzz. Obviously, he's benefiting from the injury. 575 teams, so that's rare. Renfro. Well, Mythology doesn't draft that crazy, so I don't think it's worth. He doesn't draft like those guys, I don't think. He just had the highest scoring team in BBM last year. Renfro, not that rare, but somewhat rare. All right, folks. That's probably going to be it for the Best Ball Leaderboard show this week. Let me know in the comments who you'd like to see be the guest next week. Yeah, I wonder if this guy's a Chiefs fan. Kenny Gainwell? Oh, come on, man. I think I've drafted Kenny Gainwell once in the big board. 7 teams. Good luck this week. Again, this will be my last stream for this week because I'm going to a wedding tomorrow. I will have rankings for Battle Royale on beatbestball.com. Absolutely killed it last week. Can't guarantee that every week, but did have a good week. Probably won't be able to draft too many teams because, again, my cousin's wedding. But good luck, folks. Like, subscribe, join the Discord. The link is below. Keyshawn Booty is the last one we'll look at because that is actually a good shout. 4,000-ish teams. That's a good one. All right, folks. Peace out. Good luck.